So the recently listed Snap Inc. is a camera company, and its flagship product is Snapchat.
Right, so Snapchat's got about 160 million users, mostly focused in the US. And remember the way the app works, it's the one where people make faces, share short messages that evaporate after a short time. They say it's a camera company because basically when you activate it, you're in the camera, right? You're busy exchanging funny faces with your mates.
Market cap, $25.8 billion. PE ratio of infinity, does not pay any dividends. So this is on par with Tesla that has that PE of infinity as well.
So there's the share chart, but it literally listed like 3 months ago.
But it's 160 million users. How does that compare with Twitter's overall users? Do you know?
Twitter's got about 300 million users, and then Facebook, of course, has got like 3 billion users.
So,
but Snapchat appeals more to millennials than Twitter.
And well, younger users, even sort of, I guess, what you'd maybe call post-millennials. So because Instagram, I think it was an excellent acquisition by Facebook, really, in terms of photo messaging. That is a key competitor to Snapchat in that space. But the difference is these evaporating messages. So your sort of track record, your history is erased, I think.
Which is a good thing.
What a relief. What a relief, because I think that's been one of the bigger problems of this digital footprint.
So now the interesting thing is, how do they make money? Well, they haven't really made much money at all yet. And in fact, the results that came out recently were terrible. The share price fell 20%. They had massive losses related to share-based compensation. The founders, Evan Spiegel and Rob Murphy, own most of the shares. It's a bit of a wild one. And it's doing what Twitter and Facebook did when they listed first as well. People are really not sure whether it's a good idea or not. But they do make money by selling filters, by selling apps to corporates who have presence inside of Snapchat. The advertising base, I guess, is where it goes long term.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been quite divisive, this stock, because you've got a 26-year-old CEO. He's listed non-voting shares, so you're really placing your comfort in this young CEO. I think it's interesting, analysts have likened it more to Twitter than Facebook. When Facebook listed, it actually had profits, revenues and profits. And this is a single product. Snapchat is a really core offering, and how much revenue can they generate from the app inside the app it's very questionable. So that's why we've seen a lot of share price volatility in the short term, and it is very dependent on future revenues that they can generate.
So this one is it comes with a risk warning.
Bit of a health warning. Look, I'm glad Drone mentioned Instagram, because Facebook owns that in its entirety, and many of the features which have been added to Instagram recently, like Instagram stories and the live rolling apps and all of the kind of mini video clips and things that people have in there, were basically copied from Snapchat. So in a way, they've been growing a lot faster. I don't know how many million users.
We're talking about Instagram now.
750 million users.
As opposed to 160 million in Snapchat.
Yeah, so one of the worries is that will Snapchat's audience migrate effectively to Instagram, at which point obviously that would be a major concern.
You know what this does show is that if you take something like Instagram and Snapchat, if Instagram can copy the best of Snapchat, the moat around these businesses actually is non-existent. You can just morph one into the other.
Yeah, I think one of the key moats is the number of users that you've got, because you get that network effect. So the fact that Instagram has a lot more than Snapchat is also of concern, and if it can continue to gain or keep those users is an issue.
The thing is, though, when Facebook listed at $40 and went down to 23, everybody said, oh, they've probably also missed the boat. And they were particularly worried about whether Facebook could migrate its offering onto mobile. Now the majority of Facebook's revenue comes from mobile advertising. So you've got to be careful to bet against these dynamic young smart entrepreneurs who've built these businesses, because they could transcend. And I guess that's the optionality in Snap, is whether or not Evan Spiegel and his chums will do something even more tremendous next.
Notch?
Yeah, I'm going to say not. I agree. I think Instagram has got the edge over.
It's from a numbers perspective. Paul?
So we avoided this one when it listed. I don't know. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's hot at current levels, having pulled back a touch after its listing recently.